Good afternoon, everyone in the Antelope Valley. I'm Marva Greenleaf, and with me is a local legend. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so Little Rock businessman, which I probably shouldn't even do that because it is true. You are Little Rock.
Yeah, I'm busy making no money.
Yeah, well, hardly work or working hard, hardly working.
A little bit of all that, absolutely.
And Moldy Marvin.
Moldy Marvin. Or Jeffrey Hillinger.
Jeffrey Hillinger.
That's my real name. Actually, a lot of my close friends up until just recently didn't even know my real name.
Moldy.
Everybody's always called me Moldy.
So what happened? Give me the background.
Ed Big Daddy Roth, Ed and I started working together on a website back in the late 90s. It was called ratfink.org. And anybody who worked with Ed throughout the ages, I mean, throughout the years, anybody who's worked with Ed always received a nickname. Okay, so anybody who's ever worked with Ed has always been given a nickname. And Moldy Marvin, is what he decided that would go well for me. And I happen to also, besides Ratfink, my other favorite cartoon character is Marvin the Martian, so I went with that. So that stuck.
Familiar, yeah, and he had that right to stamp you, Moldy
and a lot
Marvin.
of people wonder how come I'm moldy, and it has nothing to do with my hygiene. It's just what
it's a badge. It's a gift of honor. He wears it proudly, Moldy Marvin.
Actually, my parents introduced me to Ed Big Daddy Roth. Both my parents were into hot rodding and customizing cars. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just where you put your love and your focus.
Yeah,
and your
and the thing is, I remember building those models as a kid and looking at the box covers and looking at Ed and saying, man, that guy's cool, you know. A lot of this artwork that's here is from Culture Shock Studios.
And the beauty of online, of the social media, is that you can take it to a warehouse, even if it is.
Yes, that was the deal.
And show it online.
That was part of the idea of moving to Little Rock, that I had established myself on the internet in regard to selling memorabilia with ratfink.org. In fact, Jim coined the word socialnomics. Okay, now I spell that with a K though. Socialnomics. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense, because especially like today, most of the people that come down today, where'd they hear about the event? Well, they heard about it on Facebook. I've been basically hosting websites and developing websites since the early 90s. So back then, a lot of the stuff was the intranet, where you had to dial up into somebody's server via modem.
Here at Graphic Experience on Lancaster Boulevard, who is hosting Moldy Marvin's collection, his Ratfink Kulture. Chris Caliba.
Yes. There she is.
Who is a disciple of socialnomics. Yes. And we do create this community, and the inspiration, the renewal that all forms of art gives us.
Yes.
Oh, about the Ratfink
Culture. A lot of people that have come in here and they're so jazzed.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is when a lot of people will sort of forget about it, because they were youngsters at the time that a lot of this art was popular, and all of a sudden they'll see it and they go, wow, Ratfink, I remember that.
Yeah. All right, so Chris Caliba and Moldy Marvin.
Yes.
How long is this exhibit going to be?
It's going to be up until April 21st.
April 21st.
April 21st.
2 weeks from today.
Right here on site, Lancaster Boulevard, Graphic Experience, representing Moldy Marvin's Ratfink Kustom Kulture collection.
Thank you very much.